Hello, and welcome to the ALD No Limits podcast. I'm Christy with ALD.
And I'm Ken with AMN.
And we are thrilled to be here this afternoon with this group. It's our first live podcast.
It is.
No cuts.
Nope.
Yikes. Anyhow, just to give you a little background, we started ALD No Limits podcast to amplify the voices in the ALD community. It is a platform that many people are seeking out at this point. How many subscribers do we have, Ken?
234, I think.
Yes. So yeah, thank you. And more after today. We are on YouTube. So please watch, listen, subscribe, and like. And we're excited to get started today. So a little bit of background about me. I am the mom of 2 kiddos with ALD. My son is 5 and was diagnosed through the newborn screening. Much thanks to the work of Elisa and Maranda and ALD Alliance. And my daughter is 8 and also has ALD.
And I am the youngest of 3 brothers, all with ALD. We hit the ALD jackpot. That's not a jackpot you want, but there is that. But yeah.
So enough about us.
Our special guests today are Sherry and her daughter Maranda. Welcome to ALD No Limits. All right, to start this, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about yourself outside of ALD. Who are you outside of ALD? Pretend ALD doesn't exist.
Hi, I'm Sherry, and I'm the wife of Judd-Stepter. I'm proud of that. I'm the mother of 3 beautiful young ladies, Octavia, Amber, and Maranda. I'm the grandmother of 4, Noah, Adeline, and Hunter Rose, God rest her soul, and Ashton, who you all probably have met today. I'm a member of the United Church of Christ in Holly Springs, where I do work with my mom, Victoria, and I forgot, Marilyn Prince. They work wonderfully with me with the senior ministry at my church. I'm very involved with that. And I am a new small business owner of Cherie's Catering.
I am Maranda Judd. I am 30 years old from North Carolina. I am the mother to Ashton Chambers, who is 2 years old, going on 12. He likes to say he's 12. So we'll go with that. I enjoy traveling and just spending time with my family, and I am a funeral director. So there's that. That's me.
Thank you. That's a fun fact. I don't think we've had a funeral director on our podcast
Not yet.
quite yet. So tell us about your ALD diagnosis. How did you find out about ALD?
So Mom and I actually found out together. I was giving birth to Ashton. I was living in Houston, Texas, and Mom came to be there with me for his birth. He had jaundice, and so we went for a follow-up appointment when we found out about the diagnosis through newborn screening. So we literally found out together at the same time. From his diagnosis, I was then screened and found out that I am also a carrier and positive. And then we took some time. Mom had recently gotten diagnosed with restless leg syndrome and some other things. And during that time, we said, okay, well, maybe this is ALD and not that. And so then we got Mom tested. So we are 3 generations of ALD.
So let's go back to Ashton and when he was born. Can you tell us, he's 2 years old, so this was 2 years ago. Tell us about your experience with diagnosis and learning about the disease, and how did you feel, and what were the next steps?
I think for me, it was the fear of the unknown. we were handed a piece of paper and told to go to the Children's Hospital in Houston. So for me, it was more of just the fear of the unknown, not knowing what to do, how to do, not a lot of direction. And that was our next step, going to the Children's Hospital, having the fatty acids testing, and kind of just going step by step. And that was our process in reference to Ashton.
And you were here just a few years ago, right? And you told your story. Can you talk about that experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So after Ashton's diagnosis, we went to the Children's Hospital, did that testing. We also then went and met with the geneticist, and she said, oh, well, Mom, asked my mom, where are you visiting from? And she said, North Carolina. She said, well, we have Duke. Duke, where's my North Carolina? I knew I had a North Carolina in the building, woo woo. So yes, she said Duke. It was a wonderful hospital that treated ALD, and so it was a no-brainer. During that time, my niece, Hunter Rose, who has now passed away, she passed away in October. She was 4 years old. She had a rare genetic disease. I spoke about her here before, and she has now gone on, and she was placed on hospice the same week that we got Ashton's diagnosis. So for me, it was a no-brainer, no question. We're going home to get the care that we felt that Ashton needed, and to also be there to support my sister and Hunter Rose's care. I felt hopeless. That was the one feeling that I always think of, is I felt so hopeless, not knowing. And when Ashton was 6 weeks and we got his clearance, we got on that plane and headed back to North Carolina for his care.
To be with family.
And to be with family, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm so sorry to hear about your niece, and I know that she inspires you in your story, your granddaughter and your niece. Do you want to talk a little bit more about her and her journey and how that connects with Ashton's journey and how that makes you feel?
Yeah, absolutely. With Hunter Rose, she had a rare form of muscular dystrophy. She went through numerous surgeries and procedures and trying to figure out what was wrong. No one knew. She'd been to several doctors, had several surgeries, and nothing was working. So when she was 1.5, she went to UNC, and finally a doctor there said, hey, let's do some genetic screening and genetic testing. And from there, they were able to find out what disease she had, and they were able to treat her. And they also said, well, the life expectancy with the disease that she has is 2 years old. So here we are as a family, we don't know what to do. You try to take that time and share it with each other, share it with her, make memories. We took a beach trip together with her and took lots and lots of pictures, and she lived for another 2 years. What a blessing that was, that we were able to share with her. And it was my honor and my pleasure. I was able to lay her to rest for my sister. It is something that I will never forget. It was such a hard process, but it makes me grateful for Ashton being screened through newborn screening. That is one of the things I wish that Hunter Rose had that opportunity, that she had that chance. I think, would it have given us more time with her, we would have maybe had some more answers and just understanding what her disease was. That's why we are so grateful, and why we do advocate as a family for newborn screening, not just for ALD, but for all rare genetic diseases. A newborn screening test, and as a mother for Ashton, to me, possibly saved him. And, it makes me wonder, as an aunt of someone who has lost their niece, could that have saved her? Could we have had different opportunities and moments had she been screened earlier?
I do want to say, Ashton, yeah, he's definitely going to be a ladies' man. You got to be careful with that guy, because I've seen him out there now, but he's adorable, and I'm glad he's doing well, which...
And so the ALD experience and family health experience can be so complicated, right? Tell us about where Ashton's at now, other than sleeping over there in his stroller. Tell us about what monitoring looks like for your family.
Ashton is phenomenal. We had a little speech delay, and so we started doing speech and play therapy. He was in speech for 3 months, and they're like, Miranda, he's fine. He's talking up a storm. Now he talks so much. Ashton, we go to just our routine care with UNC once a year, and then we go to Johns Hopkins for our MRIs, and then Baltimore, our team is here. Woo, 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 woo. They're here. We just saw them last week for MRI, and so his care has been phenomenal, just the experience that we've had going to Baltimore. I was saying earlier, it's been smooth, trying to just any questions that we have, they're answered. Being that we are in North Carolina, we do utilize like MyChart a lot. And so it is nice having that confidence of knowing that any questions that we have, we can do a MyChart, we can do a call. As a parent, where I first felt like hopeless and didn't know what to do, knowing now that I have a phenomenal care team for him, and making sure that he gets everything, the extra tests, the little tests, I mean, it's okay, I talk loud. You know, what a blessing that is. So Ashton he's all clear. He knows how to count to 20. He knows how to spell his name. He knows his ABCs, his colors. He will be starting preschool in September, right behind my job. Can't let him get too far. So we're just excited about the future for him and his health.
Love it. Oh, love it. All right, so let's talk about you ladies and your health. So Sherry, you were diagnosed fairly recently, is that right? So you had some other health issues, you didn't have diagnosis, and then you were confirmed to have ALD. Can you just talk a little bit about your story and the diagnostic odyssey?
I think when I was first diagnosed, I felt a lot of guilt. I felt that I had passed on something to my daughter and my grandson. So I felt guilty for some time. The difference for me is being diagnosed with cancer, there's hope, that there's chemotherapy, there's radiation. And when I was told that I was diagnosed with ALD, and I was like, well, what do we do? What is the treatment? You know, what can I do? And I was pretty much told, no, well, there's nothing. We really don't know a lot about it. And the doctors that I were going to, they were diagnosed me with restless leg syndrome, all kinds of things. So I felt that I didn't know what to do. I depend on Maranda to kind of give me the information that I need to get. It's just very hard, the not knowing. I wake up in the mornings, and some mornings I can barely get out of bed. As the day goes on, the more I walk, the better it becomes during the day. There's some hard days. There's a lot of hard days. And I just pray and I have faith that one day, whether I'm here or not, there's going to be a cure for ALD and a lot of other rare genetic diseases.
Amen.
And so just to kind of get clear about the symptoms you're experiencing, restless leg, when you say you can't get out of bed in the morning, does that mean pain?
It's pain.
Pain.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the medication, the gabapentin that they recommend that you take gabapentin for the pain. I happen to be the one that is allergic to gabapentin. So there's no relief for me when it comes to the pain. So it's just a daily struggle. It's a daily struggle.
there's some doctors in the room. They might have other recommendations. And Maranda, what about you?
I have been blessed at this time to be asymptomatic, not having any issues. I do a lot of really taking care of Ashton, and from ALD and really from also mom's diagnosis, it's helped me to also know that I need to do better care of myself as well, so that, if symptoms do occur, I want to be ready and know what to do and how to do. But I have been blessed at this time to be asymptomatic.
And what about the rest of your family? Have others been tested?
Maranda is my only biological daughter. I have a daughter that is my bonus daughter, and then the other daughter that I received as a blessing from another mother at 11 months. So Maranda is my only biological daughter.
And we have some family members that we would like to get tested. With their comfortability, of course, that's the thing. We want everyone to be comfortable. I have ideas in my head. I'm like walking around family reunions like, yep, you got it. You got to, But we want everyone to be comfortable. And right now, it's just us that are comfortable to do testing at this time, and we're trying to respect that.
So you have each other, which is so nice. It's clear that you have such a deep connection. Who are the other people on your support team?
Team Ashton, can we get a woo woo? Yes, we have Team Ashton. Our support group, my grandmother, my dad, everyone, our church family, my sisters, we have been blessed to have a phenomenal support system. Again, just our family as a whole. My grandmother is almost 80 years old, and she keeps Ashton every day. And I said, Grandma, we have to let him go to school. She's like, no, he's fine. I'm like, no, So we have been very blessed to have a phenomenal support system. Our church, we had Aiden's Ride in 2023 in North Carolina. They were able to assist us in hosting. What a blessing that was. All around, my job is even always there to support. So we have a phenomenal support team, and #Team Ashton.
Yeah, Team Ashton. Maranda has her friends that come from Houston. They come from Maryland. They come from, of course, North Carolina. They come to the conference with her, along with me. And we're happy for that. So yes, we do have a big, huge support team.
Ken and I were referred to as celebrities earlier today, and I think the real celebrities are you all. I'm so glad you have that support team. Ken has $1 million question to ask you.
This goes for both of you. If you could live one day without ALD, what would you do? I'll give you 2 days if you need it. But.
To be honest with you, I would just breathe. I would just breathe. I would just take some time to rest my mind, and not think about ALD. I would just actually just breathe.
I would climb a tree. I would climb a tree with Ashton. I would, I think about being a child growing up in the country, and Holly Springs now is not Holly Springs. When I grew up, we had dirt roads, and as a child, we climbed trees. And now when I think about a life for Ashton, the things that I did, it is such a fear that I have for him. And so climbing trees and getting up there and looking at the stars like we did, hanging on the limb, and we used to get the lightning bugs and hold all those, those are things that I'm very fearful for Ashton, him being able to just do those things. Be a kid. I want him to always feel normal, feel comfortable. So if I had a day without ALD, I would grab Ashton and we would climb the biggest tree in North Carolina.
Nice. That's a fantastic answer. Thank you. And what advice might you have for a family? Well, this is a two-part question, but for you, Maranda, what would you say to a family newly diagnosed via newborn screen, what advice would you give them?
Don't give up. Don't give up. Lean on your support system. Lean on your ALD family. I am trying to be the biggest advocate for ALD and for newborn screening that I can be. Ask for help. I think as a mother and as a parent of a child that has ALD, it's a lot of emotions, and trying to figure out how to put all those emotions together on top of trying to also care and take care of a newborn. So I would definitely say ask for help, and be honest with your family and with your people around you if you do need help. That would be my advice. Don't give up. Advocate for your child. And just, like Mom kind of said also, just breathe. Take one day at a time. I have to remind myself sometimes I can't do day by day. Sometimes I have to do minute by minute. Sometimes I have to do second by second. And that's okay. And it's okay to not be okay. And being honest with yourself in that. That is the things that I've learned that I would love to pour into someone else as well going through this.
So wise, thank you. And Sherry, what would you say to someone diagnosed a little bit later in life?
I would say take care of your physical health as well as your mental health. I think that is very important. And I'm a woman of faith, and I would say hold on to whatever your higher power may be. Mine happened to be God, but if you have a different one, hold on to your faith with your higher power, and that's what I would say.
Thanks so much. Well, it's been a joy to talk to you this afternoon. It has. Cut. No. We've really enjoyed our conversation. Wondering if we have time for questions from the audience. Does anyone have questions for Maranda or Sherry? Or me and Ken?
You can answer that. Please don't. Please don't.
I've had him all day. You don't
want to. I was gonna say,
please let him.
You can wake him up. We're gonna pack his bag and take him on there.
Oh, there's a question.
This isn't really a question, but I had similarly the mom guilt that you're talking about, and I was on their podcast and I had the same thing, and I thought that Christy did such a good job with a pep talk that she should try to give you a pep talk on how to deal with mom's guilt.
Yes, private pep talks for sale. No, I that resonates with me so much, having that mom guilt about everything, but specifically about ALD. And when I met with Dr. Eichler for the first time in the clinic, I mentioned that, and then I said, I'm blaming my mom for all of this. And he said wisely, there's no blame in this. You didn't know, your mom didn't know. You've got to let that go in order to move forward and take care of your child, right? Take care of yourself, take care of your child. And guilt is just, it's just blocking you from other things, from experiencing joy, from experiencing gratitude. So, as best as we can let go of guilt, the better off we'll be, right? For sure. Oh yeah. I said this to somebody else with a baby here today. I said, Dr. Eichler also told me that people with ALD are really good looking, intelligent, funnier than other people. And so, you have a mutated gene, but you have all this other stuff too. So all of us with the ALD, we've got those good qualities too. We are special, right? Well, thanks again for being with us today. Real voices, real stories. We are ALD No Limits. ALD No Limits.
And badasses.
And
but,
badasses. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, ladies.